welcome to my channel. My name is Kat S, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about how I got this little guy right here. So to start off, I'm going to introduce you to him. So this little guy is labeled as a Welsh Corgi. So he is considered a Welsh Corgi, but if you look more in detail on him, you can tell that he does have some different coloration on him. So he's actually a mix between both the Pembroke Corgi and the Cardigan Corgi. So his dad was a Cardigan Corgi and his mom was a Pembroke. So he has both features of both breeds of Corgi within him. And you can see on the outside of him, he does have his tail still. And he also has curved ears or rounded top ears, which means that those are more related towards the Pembroke Corgi side. And he does have a little bit longer legs that I've noticed, so that's part of the Cardigan side, as well as his coloration and pattern is Cardigan as well, because the standard Pembroke coloration is usually like the kind of light brown dogs that have like symmetric on both sides or not symmetric, depends on the dog. Personally, he actually has separate or not symmetric sides. As you can tell on this side of him, he does have more of kind of a freckle look to him, while if I can get him to turn his other side, he has more of like kind of like a big huge spot. So currently he is about 5 months and 19 days exactly, and I decided to go with the name Nanook. So the reason why I named him Nanook is because I wanted to pick something that was a resemblance to where I was born and grew up in. So I personally was born in Fairbanks, Alaska, and grew up in Alaska. So I wanted to pick a name that kind of represented where I came from. Plus I wanted to pick a name that represented him as well. And the term Nanook means polar bear, and as you can see, he kind of does look like a little polar bear. At least to me, he does cuddle a lot. So that's why I gave him the name Nanook. So when I first started searching online, I had to pick, of course, a dog breed that I was interested in. Now I have had, in the past, I've had a Shetland sheepdog as a family dog, so I wanted to personally stay around the area of a herding dog. So I started searching up herding dog breeds, and then I also considered or looked into my area because I noticed that I was only going to have a studio, which you can kind of see around me. This is like the living room area. In front of me is bedroom. Over here is like way over there is the kitchen, and then I have like a little bathroom and closet area, and then over here I have a balcony. So I wanted to pick a dog breed that kind of could stay in this space or live in this space and be comfortable, because I wouldn't want to get a big dog, for example, like a collie, who is like needs a big area to run around, needs a bigger living space. So that's why I went with a smaller breed of herding dog, which is the Corgi. So keep in mind, just because he's a small dog does not mean that he gets a smaller space, he gets a smaller area. He still does need a pretty big space, but he's able to be a little more comfortable in a studio than a collie would. But I still do have to take him on multiple walks. I take him on 2 walks a day so that he gets that energy out to compensate for the space that I have, or that I leave for him when I'm actually in school or I have to go run errands, and that he's comfortable being in this area by himself. But currently he is in his kennel whenever I leave. I don't trust him personally yet being around the house, so he stays in his little kennel, which is right next to my bed over here. He also sleeps in his kennel at night, so I'm trying to get him used to being in his kennel as a puppy. It's really good to introduce all these rules and statures when they're a puppy, because when they get older, you don't want the dog to not listen to you or not be used to its kennel and start whining and crying and barking and scratching at the bars, because that's what he does, is he like paws at the bars, and I have to continually repetitively correct all those little misbehaviors that he does, so that when he gets older I don't have to deal with those little issues anymore. So after I decided on a type of breed of dog that was going to accommodate me and was also going to be a healthy environment for him or her, the next step was to see what Corgi puppies were available in my area. When I searched around my area and I couldn't find any Corgi breeders or pet shelters that had Corgis available in my local area, I decided to look out of the state of California, and I did find one that I really liked. There you go. They're called the Magnolia Creek Corgis. They do have a Facebook and a website. The reason why I went with them over other breeders is because I really liked how they socialized the puppies at a young age and also started behavior training them as well, and also socializing them with kids, which was a big one for me. So I searched on their website and I found this little guy. He is a boy. They do have a lot more Corgis on there, but he stood out to me more than the rest because I really liked his unique pattern. As you can see, like on one side he does have freckles. On the other side, as I showed earlier, I don't know if you'll show, he has all these colorations on him, which I found very unique and I loved it. Also, not only by looking at him, I also read his description and his temperament, and I wanted to pick a dog that had a very calm temperament, so I went with this little guy, Nanook. So I know what you guys are probably all thinking is, or wanting to ask, is how much did Nanook cost? So to begin with, just the puppy, just him, cost around $1,900. So with the puppy package, you not only got the dog, which is Nanook over there, he's getting a drink of water, but he also came with a little puppy like care package as well, where you got like a quart size or kind of like a sandwich bag size of food. You got a couple treats, a couple bones. One of them that he came with was this one. He's still working on it right now. Here you go. Nope, you want this? He also did come with a couple toys. One of the toys he did come with was this one. He really likes this one, because he loves the sound of it, of course. All puppies do. It's the only toy that he has so far that he has not ripped apart. All the other toys that he's had, as you can tell, like this bone he's kind of gnawed, but some other toys that he ripped apart. Here, let me go get you one that he also came with. So I don't know where the other piece is, but this is one of the other toys he did come with. As you can tell, he has ripped the squeaker out and has destroyed the toy, but that's what puppies do, is that they like to chew on stuff. That's why I haven't thrown this away, because he still, as you can see, likes to play with this toy, even though he's chewed it and he's torn the squeaker out. It's still something that I keep around because he still is familiar with it. There you go. So another thing I decided to add on to him as well is the rabies shot, because he was coming up to around 5 months and the breeder did suggest to me that she could actually get him his rabies shot. So that was an extra $60 for me as well, but it was worth it because in the state of California, dogs need to have their rabies shot, and before he could even be able to come into the apartment, he needed to obtain a rabies shot. So I thought might as well have him get it done down there with the breeder before he got shipped up to me. So an additional cost to the puppy and the rabies vaccine was that I had to get charged for the travel cost because I was not in their local area, so I couldn't drive and pick up the puppy. So they were able to ship him down to me. So it only cost $325 to ship him down to California. And that is actually a cheaper rate than they usually have. They usually have it cost around like $650. But because it was part of the holiday season sale that they were having, it was only $325 versus like $650. I know, hi. So I really did appreciate how they were able to get him down here, was that he didn't get put in like a storage unit and shipped to me. He wasn't put in the luggage department, but an individual actually sat with him in the main cabin and flew down with him. So some airlines do allow dogs to fly in the main cabin if they weigh a certain amount, or they're a service dog, or other reasons that I don't know of that I haven't researched. But luckily he was able to ride in the main cabin, and that decreases the amount of stress that he had to experience. But the nanny, or the person who did drop him off to me at the airport, did say that he did not drink any water. He was very shy, stayed in his little carrier, and she said that she couldn't actually get him out of the carrier to go to the bathroom. So he pretty much just like hid in that little carrier that she brought. So I am going to show the clip of me picking him up at the airport. So in the clip, he did not really want to get out of the carrier. So if you see me trying to like get him out, I'm trying to get him out because the individual, the nanny who dropped him off or was gracious enough to fly down with him, had to quickly get on the next flight back to her hometown. So if you see us kind of rushing through the video with the exchange of the puppy, she did have to rush because she had 15 minutes to catch the next flight. So that's why I was trying to get him out of the carrier as fast as possible without hurting him. But once he got out of the carrier and we got in the car, he was very cuddly and would hide his face a lot in my arm right here. He would just like nuzzle himself right in there and was very shy. I tried to let him go use the restroom. He didn't really want to use the restroom. But once we got back to the house, I let him get used to the environment, the apartment. He was a little more calm. And then usually he didn't eat the first or second day. I actually had to mix some like pumpkin puppy puree in there to get him to eat his food. But on the third or fourth day, he was able to eat his food without me having to mix anything. He became more friendly around the area. He became more open with me. Hi guys, so this is the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching, and if you have any further questions about Nanook or anything about corgis or how I got him that I did not discuss in this video, you can leave it in the comments below and I'll get to it as soon as possible. And I thank you guys again for watching this video, and if you like this video you can subscribe, and I will be posting a lot more videos about this little guy and his adventures and all the fun stuff we're gonna do. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. Bye.